we've learned a little bit about Dr. Umar. One, that you are a father of two.
Yes.
One which is fully grown, an
Yes,
adult.
22.
And that you currently are not in a traditional relationship. You consider yourself single or looking, because you ultimately will be married, but not married to one woman. You are probably looking to be married to two women.
Yes.
So as you've said that, you know, I probably am operating in dysfunction in certain spaces, which I can accept. I have no problem doing that. I've been called an emotional vampire. I've been called a narcissist. I've been called a lot of things.
Spiritual vampire.
Spiritual vampire. My bad. But Dr. Umar Johnson, I gotta get my lick back, man.
Yes,
Come
sir.
on.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We cut from the same cloth.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You ain't too different from me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I've been there. And when I go back into my romantic history, when I look at the mothers of my two children,
same mom,
different mom, one daughter here, one daughter here. I could have married either one, but it would not have been because I thought I should have. It would have been because they were the mothers of my children. My daughter.
What's a better reason to marry a woman than the fact that you guys have a kid together? So I don't know what he's trying to say, but I think that's a good enough reason to marry someone. But if you don't think the marriage material, then don't make a baby with him. And I'm not speaking, to be perfect, but I'm just saying that's usually the ultimate reason for getting married, because you're gonna have kids.
His mothers felt they should have become my wife purely due to pregnancy. And I told them I would not make a decision, a lifelong decision, about who I'm going to spend the rest of my life with purely based on pregnancy.
But that's a double standard, Dr. Umar, because having a child is a lifetime choice. It's a lifetime thing that, that is a reason, good enough reason to get married. So being pregnant is a good enough reason to get married. I don't know what other reason you would need to be married, honestly. Like having a baby with someone is a good reason. It's a lifetime thing. You're never going to change that. So I don't agree with Dr. Umar on that.
I said we can continue to explore, to date. I would like to move in with you. We have to learn more about each other before we decide to spend the rest of our lives together. And they arrogantly said, it ain't going to work that way. I need to be your wife, and I need to be your wife now. Had they been a little bit more patient and humble with me, either one, they would have became my wife. I don't know if they know that. They know it now because they're going to see this. Right. If they would have just been a little bit more respectful of where I was coming from, they would have got married. I would have married either one because they were the mothers of my daughter.
Now, this thing.
Yeah, Dr. Umar, I don't agree with you. And the reason why is because by the time they had your kids, you could have decided before that if they're worthy of being your wives. So it's not that they pressured you. For me, it sounds like they actually pressured you because they finally had a baby with you. So to any woman, she thinks, okay, if he's willing to have a baby with me, I should be good enough to be a wife, which I agree with the ladies. Sometimes we like to hold women accountable. Oh, don't have a baby with him if he's not going to marry you. But it goes back to the men as well. Do not have a baby with a woman that you don't think is good enough to be your wife, because a baby is a lifetime thing. We shouldn't be taking lightly. So Dr. Umar, you were wrong. You should have married those women or whatever. Now, if you told me that you wanted to marry them at the same time together, but they didn't allow it, okay, that's one thing. But to say having a baby is not good enough reason to marry someone, I disagree.
Where you throw things at me in the sense
Yes,
of narcissistic tendencies. And even a statement, like, because a lot would take the statement that you just made as, okay, that's coming from someone who is rooted in narcissistic tendencies, toxic masculinity, of you making the choice and all of these things. And now, even at this point, looking not just for one wife, but possibly two wives. to fulfill
My
you.
desire for 2 wives, though, is not based on personal need. It's based on political need. Let me explain. Let me explain. Let's go to a pastor at a church, right?
Oh, okay.
You have
First
a
lady.
mega church.
Right.
You have a mega church. You have your wife. And
First
then you
lady.
have your secretary.
Okay.
Stay with me. That secretary is doing so much for that church to keep you afloat.
Mm-hmm.
Sooner or later, she's going to expect a personal relationship. It's human nature. This is why pastors almost end up sleeping with their secretaries. This is why CEOs end up sleeping with their executive assistants, because they are your what? Work wives, right? Many of us have had work wives. It didn't start out that way. You might have never even wanted them. But guess what? Them long nights in the office, her holding you down, y'all get closer. And sooner or later, her cookies get crushed.
Now, I will agree with him. Usually, people could grow on you that you have never even thought about being in a relationship with them the first time you met them. So, which means proximity grows familiarity. All right. So, you guys like my English? And it's not even my first language, right? So, proximity grows familiarity, which means you may never think the person you met for the first time, you don't even find them attractive. You see nothing in them, like you would never in a million times. But over time, spending time with them, talking to them, you guys do things together. Like, think about it. Some men and some women spend majority of their time in a day more with their workmates than their spouses when they go back home, because half the time at home they're sleeping, during the day they're working, and they usually just have the weekends together. But this person, you spend with them from, let's say, from 8 9 a.m. all the way to 5 and sometimes 10 a.m. You see them more, you spend more time with them than your spouse. It's just nature that you are going to go closer with those people. So I could understand where it's coming from, but that still does not mean you should have a work wife and have a home wife, and it doesn't mean you should have a work husband and a home husband. You have to have that self-awareness to just stick to the plan and just keep making the money and go back home to your wife or to your husband.
So, I do not plan to cheat when I get married. I respect the institution too much.
Okay.
I know that one woman cannot help me hold down the movement I'm
So
building.
you're gonna have shifts.
No. So I'm not even going to play this game of hiring a secretary who's going to do all this work,
Right.
and sooner or later ain't going to reap the benefits of being the secretary.
Okay.
I'm coming in honest and realistic.
Okay. And political.
Wife one, wife two, because my wives won't just be wives. They're going to be workmates. We're working, we're building. So this ain't just let's just go to the honeymoon and let's go to the vacation. No, we got to serve the people.
Well, why not 3 or 4?
Because I will not be able to be emotionally available to 3 or 4 the way that they deserve. And so I'm not going to put those women
So
in
how
that
can you say that
situation
with 2? The same way with 2.
because 2 ain't difficult at all. And since there's very few heterosexual males who don't have at least 2 queens, I mean, that's just the reality of the world we live in.
Dr.
I'm
Umar
being
said it, not me.
honest. I'm being honest. Some men, they can do one wife. Very few alpha males have one woman.
Mm.
I'm not sure if I ever met a man who had just one woman, right? But I'm not going beyond 2. 2 is enough. I need to stay focused, and they need to hold me down. I'm good with 2 queens. I don't need more than
So
that.
all of that.
Honestly, I understand where he's coming from. He's saying maybe he means by nature that men want more than one woman. But let's be honest. Very few men can handle to have more than one woman, because we talk about especially in a marriage setting. Now, if a guy is sneaky with this woman here and they're dating, sure. But when it comes to like having kids and marriage and long term, very few men in this world can handle being with more than one woman. Reason being, it takes lots of provision, lots of resources, lots of emotional stability, strength, because you're gonna have to deal with them telling you their problems, crying here and there. them being jealous of each other, and then you have to calm them down. Men struggle to be with one woman, and you think they're going to be able to handle two women for long term with kids involved and having to pay bills for probably two households. Very few men are going to be able to pull it off. You know, very few guys are going to be like Elon Musk, and that's because he has the resources. That's why he can have all those 8 7 baby mamas with now 14 kids. But I understand where it's coming from, but I have a feeling some guys may take this message the wrong way and feel like this is a green light from Dr. Umar, because he has a voice in the black community to actually go on and have multiple women. Because I can guarantee you, even if he usually talks to black women, they didn't like this. If you guys have seen reactions on social media, they didn't like this. They like everything he says, marry black queens, black queen or forever, blah blah. But they don't like the fact that he's telling men to have more than one woman.